Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgie, and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Chainsaw Man chapter 135. So, what did I think about this week's chapter? In all honesty, I think this was a spectacular chapter that sets up what's to come in later part of the series, because right now we get to see exactly what Assa and Yoru are going to be up to going forward, as well as we get to see some Fami and what's her, it seems to be like her end goal of the story. So a lot of fascinating things that I'm personally looking forward to in the future. Now, before I go any further with this week's chapters, I wanted to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my Chainsaw Man, as well as all my anime and manga content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's chapter. So this week's chapter picks up in a different note. We actually get to see Assa and what she's been up to. And what we see is that we pick up where she's watching the news and she's seeing all about this fake Chainsaw Man, and we see that, you know, she automatically knows that this is a phony. She knows straight from the beginning, like, no, this is not the Chainsaw Man, like the true Chainsaw Man. And what we end up seeing at this point in time is that actually, you know, she starts thinking about Chainsaw Man, and she's like, yeah, there's no way this guy could be Chainsaw Man, there's no way. And then we cut to pretty much Yoru. She steps in for a second and she's like, yeah, you've fallen in love with this guy, haven't you? And it's like, what? And then we just see that Asa's like, no, there's no way I fell in love with him, like he saved me and that's it. And then we proceed to see Yoru just pretty much mock Asa and just like, yeah, he's your Prince Charming, isn't he? And she's like, no, it's not like that. And you just see Asa get all flustered, and it's hilarious. I think this is very cute, very funny, because we obviously know that she has some type of feeling towards Chainsaw Man, whether it's a positive or negative, but it seems like it's mostly a positive one because she's blushing, and why not? And we see that it keeps getting elevated because, you know, Yoru's like, you gotta stop thinking about him because, you know, he's our enemy, and our enemy, you know, I'm gonna defeat him, so don't even start dreaming about him. She's like, okay, that's fine, whatever. And we also see that, you know, Yoru is telling Asa like, hey, war is coming closer and closer, so that means that, you know, his destruction will come sooner, because the more people fear, you know, war, and the more, you know, prevalent war becomes, you know, the stronger I'll become, which means that I will eliminate him. So get him out of your mind, don't even think of him for a second, you know, just stop thinking about him. And she's like, okay, that's fine. And what does Asa proceed to do? She proceeds to have some flashbacks about Denji and all the times that, you know, she's had a meeting with him, and it's hilarious because even Yoru's like, stop having flashbacks, dude, like what and this whole scene was hilarious. You know, Asa is like, I can't help it, it's just, it comes in my mind and I can't help it. And this whole back and forward was hilarious. I think this really encapsulated, you know, Asa and Yoru's back and forward, and, you know, their whole chemistry and dynamic as a whole. And in all honesty, I think this was a prime example of Fujimoto's, you know, humor at its finest, because this entire exchange was extremely funny, and I couldn't stop laughing. Like, it's very cringy, but it's funny. And to make things worse, you know, as she's like, stop having flashbacks about him, we cut to Asa having this open poetry about Denji and, like, or, you know, Chainsaw Man, and we see that she's just like, thank you for saving me all those times. And it's just so cringe, but it's so funny because it's typical Asa behavior, and we absolutely love it. I ate that up, man. That whole situation, it was iconic. This was just insane. Like, this is just funny. And we cut to as they're, you know, as Yoru was roasting Asa about this whole poetry thing, we cut to Fami just walking in, and she's like, hey, are you eating this? And they're like, what? So she just steps in somehow, I guess, and like, they're like, bro, where did you come from? The door was locked. And then she's like, are you gonna eat this? And she asks this like 5 times in a row. Like, it was funny. And she eventually kisses, like, Yoru and Asa's like, what are you doing here? It's like, hey, so I got a remedy to solve your guys' problem. You wanted to defeat Chainsaw Man, and you know, wished him to survive. So how about this? The red Chainsaw Man you guys have been knowing is not the black Chainsaw Man. And then Asa's like, what? So then Fami proceeds to tell, you know, Yoru like, hey, sister, I know you and I, you know, we don't pick details about stuff like that, but yeah, this is the black Chainsaw Man. This is the one you want to take down. And this is the red Chainsaw Man. And they're like, you know, Yoru's like, what? And by the way, is Yoru confirmed to be a racist? I'm just saying, why you going after the black one? Just saying. But we see is that you know, Yoru and Fami start talking there, and then Fami pretty much lays it down. It's like, hey, this Chainsaw Man is a different one. That's the one that, you know, we all fear, the strong, you know, Chainsaw Man. The other one is, you know, a fusion of two. So then family just proceeds to tell them like, hey, how about this? What if there's a way to make it so one of them survives and the Black Chainsaw Man, you can destroy that one? And she pretty much explains what the Church of Chainsaw Man has been doing, which is pretty much making it so Chainsaw Man gets weaker, because the more people look up to him, the less fear he'll be, he'll be acquiring, which would make him stronger in return. So in other words, she's trying to nerf Chainsaw Man by having more followers and people being less scared about him. And in return, like we all know, Denji's not gonna be transforming to Chainsaw Man. So what it seems to be is that they're trying to eliminate Chainsaw Man in a different way by just nerfing him. And Yoru and Assa, they're like, I don't know about this plan. But then we cut to Fami just pretty much telling Assa like face to face, like, hey, would you like to join the church? And we're like, whoa. And Assa starts thinking about it for a second, and then Fami just explains like, hey, if you want to save Chainsaw Man, this is the way to do it. And we see that she's starting to think about it for a second, and then we see that eventually she's like, I'll think about it. And then we see in the next panel like all these people talking about like, whoa, there's been this high school girl that's been eliminating devils left and right, and it's like up to 10 right now in the last month or so. And then we were like, who is this chick? And then we cut to a panel of pretty much Assa just all this epically drawn, she's on top of the bad devil, and she's taking credit pretty much for most of Denji's defeats. The aquarium defeat, I'll give her that one. That one she did earn. That was her defeat. The Justice Devil, sure, that to an extent that was her, but mostly Denji. Now we all know that she obviously defeated the Eternity Devil in the aquarium, and she played a part in defeating the Justice Devil, but still it was Denji at the end of the day who defeated it, as well as the Falling Devil and all this. And at the end of the day, she's taking credit for Chainsaw Man's defeats for the most part, at least. And we then cut to the final shot of the chapter, which is Denji watching all this in TV, and he's like, Samitaka, and he's like, he's just like fed up. And I understand why. I mean, 2 imposters now taking up his credit. Like I know Denji must be going through it right now. Like my man must be furious at the fact that all these people starting to steal his clout. Like my man, they stealing his clout. Like they showed up, they did the assignment, they did nothing in the assignment, and they put just their name on it, and they took all credit for it. That's what these two are pretty much doing, like the fake Chainsaw Man and Assa. So but yeah, that's how the chapter ends, and I'm very curious to see just exactly how this plays out, because right now, as Yoru said, war's inevitable. War seems to be something that's gonna happen sooner than later, and I'm assuming that this is gonna give her a big buff in the fact that Yoru is the war devil, obviously, and that all this time world has been at peace or so. So now that there's all this conflict, I'm guaranteed that she's gonna get way stronger, while in the opposite spectrum, Denji's getting weaker, because now our people starting to like Chainsaw Man, and he's becoming more friendly / more of a figure that people fear less. So it's gonna be very fascinating to see just what happens in the future, because of the fact that Yoru, her plan is to defeat Chainsaw Man. So, and Fami's plan is to somehow separate them. So, I don't know how exactly she's going to do that, or how she's going to accomplish that goal. But it's something that now we know that that's her end goal. She at least she's aware of the Black Chainsaw Man, the Pochita, not the hybrid form, the actual Chainsaw Man. Because Yoru seemed to just not even remember that, because she's kind of dumb. But it's good to know that at least Fami, she knows exactly, like, oh no, this is the Chainsaw Man and the Chainsaw Man Devil. Like, there's a difference between the two. They're not connected. So I'm very curious to see just how that plays out in the future. But with all that being said, what did you guys think about this week's chapter? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Chainsaw Man, as well as more Chainsaw Man anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.